All right. Okay. Welcome everyone to the Comlink Cheddar podcast. My name is Brady. My YouTube channel is Fine Editions, and here today I have Sam with me. Um,
Yes, sir.
so
Trying
today,
to cancel me.
yes, cancel me.
Just
That's the same.
shameless plug, real quick.
Oh yes. What do you got? What's new?
No. That's it. That's it.
Okay. Do you have any new upcoming stuff or things the fans can look forward to?
I'm working on a couple videos. Let me see. I got a OG Fortnite video.
Okay.
Because I played this emulator that lets you play like Fortnite from back in the day.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I have that coming up. I have a I have a Starfield video that I'm working on too. I played that yesterday. I recorded a bit of it. And stream tomorrow. That's pretty much it though.
nice. What time does your stream start?
Usually like 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern.
Eastern time. All right.
Yeah,
All right. Nice. I'll try to watch. I'm not
appreciate
sure.
it.
I might be going to see Blue Beetle, so I might catch some of the
It's a good
highlights.
movie.
Is it good? Okay.
It's good.
Uh,
It's kind of
I'm
cheesy, but it's good.
yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It seems like a fun DC movie. Like
It
I like
is.
the dark and gritty, but then I also like the fun, energetic comedy ones. George Lopez is
Mhm.
in it. I really like him.
Mhm. Mhm.
But yes. So today we'll be going through Boba Fett Blood Ties. We're gonna actually split this in half. Um, we're gonna be doing part one for maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Not sure. Last time it took us, I think, 3 hours to go through 4 issues of open seasons.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure these issues are longer than open seasons.
Yeah, probably. Um, and well, they don't even feel like it. I just got to say that. Like, they don't feel that long. Let me see how many pages it is. No, they don't number the pages on here. But, I mean, it's probably the traditional, like, what is it? Like 30 page? Not 30 pages. That's older, older stuff. Oh, Marcel is here in the chat.
Marcel,
Are you? I'm assuming you're there. Uh, are you going to Legends Con, Marcel?
I think he is. I think Brennan said that they were all gonna meet up and make some
Ah,
content.
nice. So yes. Boba Fett Blood Ties. I feel like. Well, actually, one of my goals for my channel was to point out some of the maybe the not as popular um,
Legends
comic books.
content.
Yeah, Legends content. And then whatever else, keep track of what my collection is, different things. Nice. You see that? Oh yes, he loves the name button. So this is what. How do I? This is my thing right here. Zack Snyder, Matt Wilkins.
Mm.
So, where was I? Oh, non-popular Legends content or even stuff that I feel like just gets swept under the rug. And last week we did open seasons, and um, I think we were talking about Blood Ties last week, right?
Yeah, we talked about blood ties and we talked about the Darth Crate one. Before he's Darth Crate, what's his face?
Uh, what was it? Um, what's the book called? Outlander. Yes.
Yeah, Outlander.
Um, which is a pretty good one too. Um, but I feel like which I'm glad that you had said we should do that this week, because it does tie in a lot with, I mean, it's Boba Fett and Jango Fett. Um,
I was just in
for
a
the
vibe for it, man. I was like,
Yeah,
okay, I really want to read this.
the art style. What did you think of the art style of just
Oh,
the
I
whole thing?
really like it. It looks like what's it called? Some Victorian paintings,
Yes,
and I really like it.
I
Sometimes it's a
can
bit creepy, not gonna lie, but for the most part, I
a
really
little
like
bit.
it.
Maybe it almost makes it feels real. Like I feel like I'm
Mm-hmm.
in the grit with them.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Let me pull up. Let me pull up the artist.
I'm just gonna skip over to the actual comic so people can see what we're
Yes.
talking about.
So there is a comic, a short tales comic before this in the. We read it out of. It's not an epic collection. It was released around the time of Book of Boba Fett, and so they were trying to cash in on that.
Mm.
Um, where was I? I was at a bookstore in St. Louis, and um, I think I was just looking, and on the spine, I don't know if Legends comics have the Legends logo on the spine, but I saw the spine, and it looks just like you can see that. It looks just like a new Marvel spine, but I saw Bloodlines, and I was like, I know this. I know that title. Did they rip it off? And so
Mm.
I pull it out, and it's the exact one. And then I flipped through it, and I realized it had both story arcs, because there's Blood Ties, and I think it's called A Tale of Django and Boba. I've seen that on some of the covers and stuff. And then the sequel, Boba Fett is Dead, but it also has a few other stories. Let's see if you could go. Could you go to the table of contents?
To the what?
The like the contents in the book
I don't
should be
know if I
like the
have
first
that.
page.
Oh, on the okay, one sec.
Right
This.
there. I don't know how well people can see that, but this has different Tales stories, different Empire issues, the Blood Tie duology. It also has Boba Fett, Agent of Doom, and then it also has Boba Fett, the Twin Engines of Destruction. Have you read that one?
I have not.
Okay, so probably what we should do, maybe next episode or eventually get to it, is maybe read some of these Boba Fett stories. Twin Engines of Destruction is maybe one of my favorites of these.
What's it about?
Um, so it is about, what's his name? There was a bounty hunter that he was popular from the like the RPG books,
Uh-huh.
and he was kind of a Boba Fett like character that people could play
Oh,
as.
is it like where Boba Fett kills him for like
Yeah.
impersonating him?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know like
That.
the general
Yeah.
uh
That.
story.
That's real good. Yeah, he would pretend to be Boba Fett to get more credits, and he had Mandalorian armor, all that. Um, that would be interesting to take a deep dive into.
What's his name again?
Twin Engines of Destruction.
No, no, his name. The
Oh, his
the
name.
bounty hunter.
Let's see.
Was he an actual Mandalorian, or was he just wearing the armor?
I don't know. I know he was kind of yellow.
Yeah, it was like similar to Boba's colors, bit different though.
Yeah. Where did that? Okay. Jodo Cash.
Jodo Cash, yes. Wasn't he like a Chiss? I'm pretty sure I've seen like, or was that? I don't know if that was like Thrawn wearing his armor, or
I remember seeing that. I haven't read that. I think it's a short story. I haven't read that. Um, but anyway, let's go to.
oh no, it was Thrawn. It was Thrawn.
Oh, that was Thrawn.
Yeah, he went undercover as Jodo Cast.
Ah.
All right.
So the first four issues, they were released in August, September, October, and November of 2010.
Okay.
The writer was Tom Taylor. His work. Oh, yikes.
What?
Um, so, did you ever read the Invasion comics?
I like scrolled through them, but I never like sat down and read it because I haven't like I'm not there yet
I gotcha.
on New Jedi Order yet, so I just
So,
left that for
I
another
would,
day.
looking at his roster, okay, he only did, no, no, he did them all. Um, I would say that this is probably his best work. The Invasion comics kind of like they contradicted like the book series of New Jedi
Hmm.
Order, and they were all right. They ended up getting canceled at a cliffhanger, which is kind of sad. I
I
also
like it
did.
because it gives a visual to a lot of the stuff that's happening.
That's true. That's true. That yeah. Um, like I like seeing the Vong. Like I liked seeing the Vong. I like seeing the Jedi fighting them and different things. Um, he okay, yeah, he wrote the entire series, I believe, for the Boba Fett series. He also wrote some of the Star Wars adventures. Um, he wrote one about Darth Vader and then one about Luke. Those came out back in when was it? Like 2010. So he was a big writer then. He's written some new canon, um, but there. The thing with this is, or at least with the the blood ties. Did I say bloodlines? Man, getting all confused. Blood ties. Um, the thing with it is the the dialogue. I mean, there's not much dialogue. It's mostly action,
Hmm.
but the dialogue is engaging enough. It carries on the story. Sorry, I'm sick. Um, but anyway, so there was also a Tales comic that is a lead-in for this. Um, but actually, before that, I wanted to look up the author, not the author, the artist to
For the
see
Tales
what
comic,
other. What's that?
the artist for the Tales comic, or just for the Blood Ties in general?
For the blood ties.
Okay.
So he is Scaff. Um, works for Dark Horse and Del Rey. He did a lot of um, covers for like the Legacy series, the Invasion series. Uh,
Oh, the realistic looking ones. That makes
yeah,
sense.
he did the Son of Dathomir covers.
That makes sense. That's very much like that style.
Yes, I think I have read all of his work. Um, that he's done the art like for the
Hmm.
inside. um,
Man, can I say a controversial opinion?
what's that?
I think Dark Horse comics are better than Marvel comics.
Oh, I mean I would agree with that as well.
A
Especially
lot
what
of
they're
people love
handling with
Marvel,
Star Wars.
but yeah,
Are,
like no good.
do you think that like in general,
Well,
like
I don't read a lot of comics, but like Star Wars wise, like they have Legacy, they have Republic, right?
right,
Yeah, they did the open seasons ones, right?
right, yeah.
Yeah, like they just have like banger after banger. Like I don't think I've seen a bad Star Wars comic from Dark Horse yet. So
So
yeah.
there are quite a few, there's quite a few. Not there's more good than bad. Obviously,
Uh,
like they were able to hold on to the rights for a while. Um, I think also they lost the rights not only because Disney bought it, but I think that they had some falling out as well because now they're making them again.
there's
They're
only
doing,
minor stuff, right? From what I
yeah,
heard. I don't really
they're like
keep up
doing
with new
the
canon, but
hyperspace stories, Jabba's palace, different ones like that. I haven't looked at them yet. Um,
mm,
what my goal is, if I'm gonna give the new canon a chance at all, it'll be after I finish the expanded universe,
mhm.
um, unless it's like something tiny, like um, there was this Ewok comic that came out, and it was like a few pages, and I was like, okay, let's read it. It's free online, like you know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I plan on finishing all um, the comics before I dive into anything new canon. Just because I already get distracted. Like I already try to read new things like Dune. Um, what else? Like the Alien, Predator, different things like that. And then I always end up back at Star Wars, which it's
That
great.
makes
And
sense.
yeah, like I think I was taking a break from the books, and then I started reading the X-wing series, um, and then I just got sucked right back in. But yeah, the artist, he's done quite a lot of covers. He did a Purge comic, the Star Wars Purge comic. And then he did some art pieces inside of some of the essential guidebooks, like Essential Guide to Warfare, and then the Essential Reader's Companion.
Mhm.
What is this? Oh, I don't know. But I'm not too familiar with any of his work outside of Star Wars.
Me neither.
I would, I think I would definitely read some of it, or at least look at the pictures. Okay, it looks like he only did Star Wars.
That's pretty much all I read, other than the Bible.
Yeah,
It's just Star Wars in the Bible. That's all I read.
that's basically me as well. So the Star Wars Tales #7, outbid but never outgunned. So what do you did you read through this at all?
Yeah. I read everything.
So what did you think of it?
I mean, it was kind of um like not in a bad way, but it was kind of insignificant, like it's just like a little quick bounty. He doesn't struggle too much. You can tell that he's in control of the situation the whole time, you know. Um it was cool to see like his interaction with Synthesis because he doesn't really interact with her in what's it called? In
Uh,
Blood Ties.
yeah,
So like she's in it, but he doesn't really interact with her from what I remember.
right.
But yeah, I mean it's also cool to see her in like comic form and not like realistic looking art. But
That's that's a good point.
yeah,
I
because
have. Oh,
no,
go ahead.
yeah, we mainly just see her on those comics. I don't know if there are other visuals for her,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So this tale came out in 2001.
Oh, this one?
Yes.
Oh, so was this like her introduction?
But yes, it was her introduction.
Oh,
Um, yeah, yeah. She
I
first
thought
appeared
this
in.
came afterwards.
Nope. This came out 9 years before Blood
Blood
Ties,
ties. Okay.
which is wild.
Yeah.
Like, imagine seeing that and going, "What the heck?" Like, how?
Because it's like a huge cliffhanger. Like they don't really talk about their relationship on here.
Yeah.
It's just the picture and like a little bit of dialogue that insinuates that they were in a relationship, but that's pretty much it. You don't know
Oh
what
no.
happened.
It. Um, whoever like read it in order or at release time had to wait 11 years because
Dang.
she didn't appear again until Boba Fett is dead, which
Oh,
was years
true.
later. And
That's
so you
true.
have this setup, and oh man. So basically, the story of this tale is that Boba Fett is getting blackmailed by. Well, first off, he's trying to get information from. I'll let you catch up.
This guy.
Yes, he's trying to get
Bootleg
information.
Yoda.
Yes. And so he's interrogating him, and then he gets the information he needs, and then he just feeds him to a monster. Um,
Hmm.
it's kind of the, I'm not killing you, but I'm not saving you. Um, because his whole thing is if I'm not paid for it, I won't do it.
True. Fair enough.
And so he ends up getting, I think, a data card or a hollow disk with a guy blackmailing him with a piece of his past and information that would be very, you know, a lot of people would want it. And so he goes to take care of that guy, but then he runs into how do you pronounce her name?
His wife?
Yes,
It's Cinta's Vel.
Sentas Vel. So
Yeah.
he runs into her because the box contains an image. I don't know what else it contains in it, but of his family that for some reason uh, reading this first, we don't know the whole story there. Boba Fett's a mysterious guy. Um,
Yeah.
and so something I had forgotten was that it was hers, and she had lost it, and people were she was getting in his way when it came to things,
Mhm.
and I just felt like that was I don't know, like it was a little it surprised me. Like I couldn't imagine being back in 2001 and seeing that.
Yeah. And this was like before all the lore about Boba Fett was really there.
This was before episode 2.
Yeah, it was before episode two. It was before open seasons. It was before, I don't even know. I think he was in the, I mean, he was in stuff before this. He
Right.
was, I think, Dark Empire was before this, right?
Yes, and then he had a few other Dark Horse miniseries, or even one
Yeah.
shot comics.
He was in
Um,
the Marvel comics.
he was. He fell into the Sarlacc pit multiple times in that. Uh,
That's one of the only things about Legends that I'm just like, bro, really? Like five times? Come on.
was it 5?
I don't even know. It was more than three. I'll tell you that.
More than 3?
I'm
I
pretty
thought it was
sure it was more
only.
than three.
I thought it was only twice. We have to.
Nah, because there's off the top of my head, I can think about the first time he fell in the movie.
Right.
Then he gets out in a Marvel comic
Yeah.
and he falls in again at the end of the comic or something like that.
Yes.
And then he gets out like what's his name? The guy that has like toilet paper
Dengar.
wrapped on his head.
Dengar.
Dengar helps him out or something, and he is like Dengar's best man at his wedding or something. And then I think he falls in again after that. So
Okay.
that's what? That's three.
Hmm.
So
So that was in. Wait, he fell in the movie and then fell in again whenever he got out
so that's two.
too. When was it again?
No, I think he falls in afterwards, one more time, but I can't recall where.
When Dengar dug him out?
Yeah, like
Did he?
Dengar dug him out, and I think he falls in like a few years in the future again.
Huh.
I
So
have to double check on that. It could be
what I
complete.
what I can find online is um 2 times, or he escaped 2 times. Imagine, okay, they continue Legends, and Boba Fett's still alive, but they kill him off that way.
There has to be some goofy Disney stuff, bro. Like, there's no way.
Yeah. Disney says we'll continue it, but Chuck Wendig will write it, and he's gonna have Boba Fett fall into the pit.
Uh,
He will
Man,
just do a fan fiction of the sequel trilogy, but with all of the original characters dying the same way, except it's just like, oh yes, Ben Solo, he exists.
no. You know how he's gonna die? He's
How?
gonna go show his granddaughter, Mertagev. He's gonna go and be like, and this is the Sarlacc that I got stuck in twice, and then he falls in, and that's it. Just over. He's dead for real this time.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What that Sarlacc died, I believe.
Oh, it did.
Yes,
Never mind.
because
Never mind.
I think he killed it. That's why he didn't die the second time.
Oh.
Maybe I don't know. He drove. They drove a sand crawler into it in the Marvel comics.
Oh yeah. That's how he falls back into it at the end of the
Yes,
comic.
and so I don't think they allude to that in the what is it? Is it Mandalorian armor book? I think the Bounty Hunter Wars.
A lot of people don't
But
consider that canon, I'm pretty sure. Like
what's that?
to Legends. I said a lot of people don't consider that canon to Legends, I'm pretty sure. I've heard something like that.
The Marvel comics.
No, no, not the Marvel comics. The Bounty Hunter.
Huh.
What is it called? It's like the Bounty Hunter Code or something.
No, the Bounty Hunter Wars trilogy.
Oh, okay. We're talking about two different things. Never mind.
Are you talking about the Bounty Hunter Code book? It's
Yeah.
like the diaries and comments of different bounty hunters. I think that that is completely Legends.
Mm.
There are some other ones like that that are questionable or partly both. I think that's the Rebels file one, and then I think there's a Smugglers one as well.
I had the Empire book, like the
You do?
Empire Handbook or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, my sister has it though. I don't have it
Nice.
anymore.
So I have, I think I have the original four. Um, yeah, the Jedi Path, Book of Sith, Bounty Hunter Code, and then Imperial Handbook.
Yeah, it's like
And
a
I think
black
I've read them.
hardcover.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think it came in an ammo box whenever it was originally released. I found it in the marketplace and
Hmm.
the Facebook marketplace, and it was just yeah, my cousin picked it up for me.
Nice.
But yes, so that's kind of the Tales story there. The thing with Star Wars Tales is I think for a while they were like that's um, like they
Not
weren't
canon.
canon, but then they
Hmm.
were brought into canon because they said
Not
in
all
the
of them though, right?
not all of them no,
Yeah.
all of the serious ones that can fit are canon. So like this one fits. There's one about Han Solo. I think he becomes a like a freighter pilot again
Oh.
during the New Jedi Order after Chewie dies. That doesn't fit into
Oh.
the New Jedi Order, but um, it's a serious one, so I don't think that one's canon. There's a few other ones. Then there's the obvious Indiana Jones and Star Wars
No, that's
crossover one.
canon. That has to
It,
be canon.
I I heard Noah, who's quality autism. He
Oh, okay.
he's writing a chronology for Indiana Jones, and he considers it canon to Indiana Jones, but not to Star Wars, because
Makes
obviously
sense.
Han Solo dies and Chewie is alive and well.
Mm.
Um, but kind of you get the separate universes and different things like that. But yeah. Um, so Blood Ties issue number 1. Cover art's great. Regular art, fantastic. I'm trying to find it. There it is. So we
Bless you.
start off the story with Boba Fett being surrounded. And Boba Fett's talking to himself and he's saying, oh, I'm not afraid of this situation.
I like
And
the talking to himself or like his thoughts.
oh,
Like
yes.
this comic has a lot of it.
Yes. I think that they did that very well with like the fact that Boba Fett is kind of to himself. Um, and I know that a lot of people had problems with the book of Boba Fett because he was talking too much.
Mhm.
Even Tamara Morrison had a problem with that. He was like, he's just talking too much. Like, what the heck? I feel like this could have enhanced some of that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they read this. They should have. Honestly, this would have been a wonderful. Um,
Nah, I don't think they read anything. They just
yeah,
go, they watch the movies at most, and they're like, yeah, I
yeah.
know what we're doing now.
Um, so Boba gets a flashback to when he's a kid. Um, also, if you have any comments to say, just don't be afraid
Mhm.
to hop in. And so he has a flashback to whenever he was with his dad um, in a cave, and his dad strapped a jetpack on him and told him to go get the tooth of this large monster right here.
This looks super creepy, man. Like
Yes.
this specific scene.
Like, look at them at the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh. At first, I thought it was a crate dragon. Not a crate dragon. Well, it does look kind of, but I was thinking
Mythosaur?
mythosaur. Yes. Um, but yeah, it is not. Um, but he ends up,
It's a blue egg or something.
yes, a yeah, Beleg. And they're talking about some of the creatures and stuff, and Boba's like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Oh, it's a food source for the." And it's like these huge creatures, and so he says, "Okay, go get a tooth." And so Django just like leaves, Dad of the Year, and then Boba shows up, and then he's just like, "Well, your lesson was that was the scariest thing you're ever gonna deal with in your entire life. Now you'll never be scared again."
It's a pretty good
Um,
lesson.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that this was a good, model of parenting, but good
My
lesson.
dad, my dad did something similar. I told him I didn't know how to swim. He took me to the deep end of the pool and just dropped me there. I was like, okay,
Oh
go ahead.
man.
Of course, he wasn't gonna let me drown. He was like, here, you can swim now.
Oh yeah.
Mm. But
Um,
I'm pretty sure he would have done something if if like Bobo was about to die. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. See, that's the question. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Because I know that he has two jetpacks, but he doesn't have it with him. Um,
Yeah.
my thing also is he was just walking out of the
Oh
place.
yeah, true. He was just kind of like, okay, good luck,
He's
and
just
he just
strolling
walked
out.
out.
Oh yeah, bye. Didn't even watch. Just watched him fly back.
It all worked out in the end. But I'm pretty sure this is the Mandalorian rite of passage, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's at the right age, I think.
Yeah. I'm not too familiar with the Mandalorians, um,
Yeah, they
especially like
basically have like a bar mitzvah kind of
I
like
knew like
thing.
similar things to that. Like I know the similarities it has to like real world culture and
Mhm.
stuff. Um, but I don't have like the ages or the different things memorized there. I probably have the basic comic book knowledge, I guess. Um,
Mhm.
I know the Karen Travis books go deeper into it.
I have to read those, but I have so much stuff to read, man. I know I always say that, but I really do have so much stuff to read.
Hmm. So
Mm-mm.
they leave from here and they get a transmission from Count Dooku, and he um, informs Django. Well, at first he says, "Could you have your son leave?" And then Django's like, "Anything you say to him, you can say to me." And it's kind of neat to see that relationship between Boba and Django.
Django.
Um, and so they go to the planet that he tells him that there's a guy that is going to, like, he's got too much information. He could ruin the entire grand Sith plan, or at least a big
Hmm.
portion of it, which we'll come to find out that is the knowledge of cloning, the clone army, all of that part of Dooku's, which is really Palpatine's plan, could be revealed, and so he pays Django to take out this guy, and so Django, which artwork, fantastic. I can't stop saying that.
Do you see
Uh,
this on this image right here? If you look at
yeah,
the floor, it's trippy as hell. It looks like it's actually moving.
Yes. Like it's got that right type of blur.
Hmm.
It's crazy. But so they're landing, and then the air traffic, security is like, "Hey, you need to stop." And then he's like, "Do you know who I am?" And then we have this other guy, like, the new recruit is like, "I don't care who you are." And then the other guy's like, "Oh my gosh, like, dude, that's Django Fett." And then he's like, "Sorry, we have recruits, all this." And then he's like, could you prove that you're Django Fett? Not that you're one of a kind starship. You know,
You know
gives
what?
it
They
away.
deserved it. They
Yeah,
deserved it. Even the guy who was kind of smart deserved it for asking him
right.
to prove it. I mean, that's what he did though. He proved it.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I think that the paneling and the format of um, like he says, if you could simply find some way to prove you are who you say you are, then you turn the page. I really like whenever the dramatic thing happens within the page turn.
Mhm.
Um, and just that fantastic. That
And it's just two huge panels for that.
yes.
Just for that.
Um, man. So Boba said that he wants to join, but then Django's like, no, stay with the ship. And so he goes to take care of the mission. Oh wait, no, he does bring
No,
in
no, no.
Boba.
He lets Boba join.
Yeah, he does. My bad, my bad. Um, yeah, he. Okay, so I read it wrong, and then I just skipped ahead. But in my head, I was like, why didn't he let him go? He had him fight that dragon thing. But then that's literally
Yeah.
his argument. And so, he's got him in the sights. He shoots him. Django goes investigating. And so he gets in a fight. Django has his helmet removed. Oh, the art. Oh my gosh. I can't stop talking about the artwork. If I had
I
a
was gonna
dollar
say the
for
paneling for when he
every,
shoots.
the way he shoots, the way it's blurred at the right times, like I would frame artwork of this.
Yeah,
Um,
not same.
I feel like I am in the fight with Django. Like the moment whenever like he's having his helmet taken off, like I can just like feel that.
Hmm.
But yeah, so he's got him at Django's got this guy on gunpoint. Turns out it's a clone. It's a clone of him. The guy's like, "What the heck?" And then it just
Like, I
ends.
know you.
That's issue one. So fast. What'd you think?
Man, it's really good. It's really good. It's like pretty fast, but like it's solid. It doesn't feel rushed.
Yeah.
I really like it. Mm. I wish this was animated, man.
Me
Like,
too,
I know I keep saying this, but I wish it was animated. Like, it just has a really good pacing for the story.
for sure.
It
Like
could
a
be like a
stop.
mini series.
Oh man, this could be honestly a
This could be a movie.
30-minute episode. Like that, it takes less than 30 minutes to read the whole series. Um, but man,
I took an hour, but that's because I'm a slow reader.
yeah. Well, I kind of skimmed, honestly.
Oh, okay, okay. No, I stopped and like I read every single part.
See, whenever I went through the reread before we started, um, I saw that we were getting closer to going live, and I was like, I don't want to leave. I want to take in every word of this. Um, but yeah, wow. That was issue one. So issue two, I just gotta say, cover.
I was gonna say that. Oh my gosh.
I would have
Nah,
that
this
on.
this has to be a poster in my room. Like,
Yes. I was thinking of, I think it was today, about different like wall art and stuff for my future man cave.
man cave.
I would have that one.
Makes sense. Valid. Valid.
Um, there's a lot in here too. Like, so issue two starts off, right where the last one ended. Django's like, it's a clone. Um, and so they're talking about, you know, he didn't want to be a soldier,
hmm
which,
Understandable.
yeah, which I kind of, I could see this guy, um, I don't know. My thing with deserting clones is it's kind of rough. Like, I feel like in TCW they really pushed like, oh, clones are completely independent. They are just like average people. But no, they were conditioned from a young
hmm
age. They didn't have the chip originally. Um,
In Legends,
even
right?
yeah. And so that it was just, yeah, that
Yeah.
part kind of bothers me, but you could of
I
course
mean,
retcon, oh, he could be, you know, the
yeah, like to
conditioning could
me,
not have
this
worked.
guy's like a commando or like a ARC
Exactly.
trooper or something like that. He has to be because in this specific timeline, it wouldn't
Yeah.
really make sense for him to be just a regular old clone. And I'm pretty
Right.
sure the regular clones couldn't reproduce either, and he had a son. So
That's true.
so like this guy has to be like a different, like a, I don't know, ARC trooper or a commando or something.
Right. Which, I don't know. How do you feel about clones being able to reproduce and have
I don't really
family?
mind it. I don't really mind that. I think it kind of makes sense. Like, I mean, doesn't one clone have a kid with a Jedi?
Yes. Which I
Yeah.
know that that's a bit controversial. Um,
How so?
so mainly that reason, like that the Kaminoans would have like castrized the, what kind of like the Unsullied from Game of Thrones.
I
Um,
understand it, but like also like I don't think they would have done that to every single clone. I mean, you have like Scarata's boys, and I'm pretty sure they weren't messed with at all.
right, which they a lot of the stuff started getting introduced with Karen Travis and what she brought to the table, which I could see this very much being inspired by.
hmm
Um,
Yeah, I
I'm
don't really
looking.
mind it. I don't think it's like such a push that you have to do too much brain gymnastics
Right.
for it to make sense, you know? I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Um, yeah. This clone doesn't have. Um,
A name?
no, he doesn't even have a name.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
which I kind
Connor's
of wish.
father.
Yeah, it's just Connor Freeman's father. Um,
I actually like the idea of his name, like his surname being Freeman, because
yeah,
like just like slaves who would be freed, um in back in the day, they would take on the name Freeman.
yeah.
Like he also did that, and
Oh
he was
yeah,
basically a slave to the Republic. So
right.
I really
Which
like that connection to the real world.
I actually like that narrative of the clones. Uh, Oh, look who decided to join.
Matt Wilkins, what's up?
Wilkins, hello.
I like the artwork of Blood's Eyes. Yes, sir.
Yes. I wish we would have had more, but I'm sure he has. I mean, the fact that he's a cover artist really shows that like um it's
Imagine how
self.
long. Imagine how long each panel took, man.
Yeah,
It has to like take at least no more than a day on each panel, man. Like there's no way.
for sure. Like unless man, there Legends has some wild artwork like pieces.
Hmm.
That this is probably one of my favorite. Then there's I think there was another Star Wars Tales, and they literally took screenshots from the movie and then changed the background and changed different things, and it was like I don't know. I might pull it up later, but it was rough. It was I think it was called the Second Smuggler's Run. I don't know if you
Yeah.
probably we'll have to look at it later. But
Yeah.
so like I feel like some of this artwork like in some lightings like it looks like it's just like a picture of Tamora Morrison.
Yeah. I
Like
was
this one
wondering
right
like
here that you have up.
right here.
Like I'm like that's just a picture of him. What are you doing?
Yeah. Sometimes it's a bit blurry, like right here or right here. But like this is super realistic.
Hmm.
It's also very like early 2000s, like the colors and stuff like that.
Which this was 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he was working on it for a couple years.
Yeah. So he ends up killing um, Mr. Freeman. Um,
Hmm.
and he realizes that there was a woman there with a baby. Um, and it is the baby's name is Connor Freeman. Yeah. And so the woman doesn't know really anything except for
I feel bad
um,
for her.
what's that?
I said I feel bad for her. Imagine you're
Oh
just
yeah,
chilling one day with your husband and your kid, and then your husband walks in and kills your husband, and then he just walks out.
right. He just leaves.
Imagine how confusing that must be. And also
And
her
like,
realization whenever the Clone Wars started, and she's like, hold up,
oh
all
my
of them
god,
look like my husband.
oh my gosh, I could not imagine. Oof.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they talk about it sometimes, which I don't know if you've read. Have you read any of the Clone Wars novels?
Oh no, I haven't read much.
So there's a novel. I
Yeah.
believe it's Cestus Deception, and there's a like a I think a bounty hunter or someone caught up in crime, and she sees a clone commando, and he starts to or not a commando, a arc trooper, I think, or
Mm.
someone with the mental capacity to actually leave. Um, and she like falls for him because she dated Django, and she's like, "Oh my gosh,
Oh,
you look just like him. I love you." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's a little weird." It's like, "Oh my gosh, I love you just for looking like this guy, my ex."
that's the next level of a rebound, man.
Oh
That's
man,
tough.
man. But yeah, going back to the story, Django just leaves, and then he meets up with Boba, and then Boba's asking him questions. He asked him about what that was all about, and then he was like, "Hey, yeah, no, I'm gonna go treat you, and
Uh-huh.
we'll talk about it later." Which it's wild.
Mhm.
Go back up, where Django's holding Boba, That's gotta be rough, especially in that rain.
Yeah, I think he's used to it. It's probably not the most
Probably.
comfortable situation, but he's like, okay, yeah, here we go again.
Yeah.
Like puts his arms up so his dad can pick him up, and that's it.
Yeah. It
I mean, he
it's
has to have a lot of trust in his dad, though. Like, I
oh
feel
yeah.
like he just didn't think for a second that his dad would drop him or let him
Right.
die or anything like that.
Right. Something I like if you could. I think it's the next panel after this one. When he's looking into the his reflection.
That's yeah.
That's a wonderful art piece.
What a
And I
great
feel like
picture.
the
Also with the
artwork,
lightning.
yes, the artwork I think speaks more than like the dialogue. Um,
Hmm.
because it looks like he's contemplating like, okay, there's going to be a bunch of me, you know. I just
Hmm.
killed myself. What will the future have in store? So he has to, live with this for the rest of his life. But, you turn the page and then you're reminded, yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I like how he says, my father and I never got to speak. He was murdered by a madman. And it ties back into what he was talking about on the first panel of the
Right.
first issue
Yeah.
about the madman.
Right. And I love the two panels side by side with young Boba looking at the mask and then
Mhm.
older Boba looking at the mask, which I don't know why they did not call Daniel Logan, yeah,
Mm,
to play some part of playing young Boba, like not like having a flashback to like Boba Fett like during the original trilogy or
mm,
because he or at least a pre-original trilogy because he looked like he's grown up really looking like him, you know,
mhm. True.
which I'm sure that's what they were going for in this art piece, but
I just like the dialogue or like whatever he's thinking, how he's telling the viewer, he's like, I would have avenged him. I would have killed the man who took my father from me. Um, but that was taken away from me too. I have grown. Sorry, man. It's just I don't have glasses on.
no,
I've
you're
grown
good.
since then. The man who killed my father is long gone, but my anger remains. I was like, oh my gosh, bro, that dialogue. Like
Yes.
the man who took my father is long gone, but my anger remains. Like he's bitter, he's mad, he just still wants revenge.
Now, of course, it wouldn't fit into where they're at now with you know the timeline and everything in here, but it would have been interesting if like Boba was just like walking down the streets of Coruscant, and then Mace Windu's dead corpse drops in front of him. Like, think of that. Like, imagine he just like throws a credit into a well and goes, "You know what? I wish the man that killed my father was dead." He
That's some
just
Disney
slams.
writing right there, man. That's some Disney
It
writing
is.
right there.
They should have done a Robot Chicken episode. Star Wars
Mhm,
Detour should have done it.
mhm.
Something. We need a fan animation. Um,
On it. On playing.
there's this guy that did it was called Palpatine's Journey, and it's a complete Gen Z humor like type of story of how Palpatine got from being picked up and thrown down the core shaft to being on the throne in episode
Mm.
9. It's I kind of want him to go and make that, like, wishing well and oh man. But yeah. So it's now Boba Fett. He is Boba Fett entirely now. This is not where we left off at the beginning, before the flashback. But he's talking to Immune, which is
The
um,
banking and
shoot. Uh, this makes me think of it, but like imagine a Darth Plagueis comic with just the way this
mm,
guy is drawn. Like,
that'd be
come
cool.
on,
That would fit it too.
give me more legends. Um, but they're talking about bounty, some past with his father about Connor Freeman, and of course that's the baby. And so he's talking about like an inheritance fund that was set up by Jingo Fett, just before you know all that. And Bob was like, "What the heck are you talking about?" Um, and so he's talking about the situation, all this. Well, this Mune is a banker because I think all Munes are bankers. Um,
Yeah, true. Or Sith Lords.
business.
One to
Oh,
two.
well, I think his alter ego was a like a
A
businessman
banker.
banker. So
Uh,
even a
yeah, makes
Sith Lord.
sense. I
Um,
mean, his master was a businessman.
who's that?
Uh, Darth. Ah, man, what's his
Darth
name?
Plagueis' master. Darth Tenebrous.
Yeah. Yes, Tenebris. That's what it is.
It's been so Darth Plagueis, the novel, was like the first like full on. I think I had the unabridged audio. That was my first unabridged audiobook of my expanded universe journey. That's what got me into it.
Um,
It's that I think that was back in like 2012 when I read that, which was, oh my gosh, 11 years ago. Yeah, I think I got it for my 14th birthday. Um, and
wait,
oh
you
man,
said 2012?
2012 was whenever I read Darth Plagueis.
Dang.
Yeah, because I think that's when it
2012, I
came
was
out.
11 years old.
Huh?
I was 11 in 2012.
Yeah, I was 14. But yeah, my grandpa had gotten it. My grandma and grandpa had gotten it for me. I think my grandpa read it before, because usually that's what he would do. He two birds, one stone, you know.
Fair enough. Fair
And
enough.
so I'm like, hey, Star Wars books. Um, but anyway, so they're talking about the name, the job, all this stuff. And then it cuts to a diner, not Dex's diner, but a different
But
guy.
almost.
Almost. I feel like this guy forearmed people, which I guess it would be more effective for forearmed people to own businesses like this.
Yeah.
Um,
Can't handle a lot of stuff at the same time.
yeah. And so Connor is sleeping on the bar, and he has some dialogue
Connor
with
Connor
what's that?
has serious alcohol problems, man. Like he is actually an alcoholic. It's
Yeah,
like really bad.
yeah. And so he's just sleeping, and then the tender, he's just like, dude, you're sleeping here more than your own bed. Like, what do you do there? Like, and then he gets approached by a bounty hunter. I was gonna look this up before we started, um,
Hmm.
but it's the same species as Zuckus.
Mhm.
Let's see.
Actually, what's his face? The guy from X-Wing, Corin's friend. He is from the same species too.
Is he?
Yeah, Corin's wingman.
Oh,
Euro. Euro, I think is his
really?
name. Yeah, he's the same species, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I like that guy. Nice guy.
Yeah, no, that is not. Which we see that he gets shot. It looks like there's a lot of damage, but I didn't know if he died or not. Which in Star Wars, it's hard to
You
tell.
never know. You never
Yeah,
know.
but yeah, it's just a regular Gand bounty hunter. Which um, I actually have some. I really like the design of the this species, which he looks like he's just Zuckuss, but
True. I like the
so
clothes though. The clothes are different.
yeah, but if they were like, oh yes, this is Zuckuss before his death was faked, I'd be like, okay, cool. I guess everyone is Zuckuss by the species. But so my friends, they got me for my birthday whenever I was, I think like 9 or something, a Zuckuss action figure, and they were like, "We want to test your Star Wars knowledge.
Who's this?
Who is this guy?" And it was actually from my friends. They didn't see Star Wars, but their dad did. And they went to the 12, and he was like, "He's got to know who this is." And I go, "That's a bounty hunter from Empire Strikes Back." I don't know if I said that's Zuckuss, but yeah,
Close enough. Close
yeah.
enough.
And they were like impressed, very impressive. Um, but anyway, yeah, there's a shootout. Not really a shootout, but just the bartender hands Connor a blaster, and then bang, taken care of. Bye bye, discount Zuckuss. Um,
It was good while it lasted.
yeah,
Moving on.
and then the bartender's like, "Dude, I'm not cleaning this up." And so instead of him doing the Han Solo throw him some cash type of thing, like he's dragging his body out. He's like,
Oh,
"Well,
he's
I
dead
gotta."
broke right now though.
Yeah, well,
Like at
that's
this
true.
point, he's dead broke. He has only 3 credits.
Um, and so he pulls him out into the streets, gets chased by some bounty hunters. They're after him. Um, and so he's ready to shoot him. And I love this panel. He's about to shoot, and you see these feet in the frame. I don't know if you got it right there. You
Yeah,
see the
right here.
feet, and then boom, Boba Fett snatches it.
His face when Boba snatches it, he just can't
Yeah,
believe it. He's like, wait, hold
he's
up.
like, he's gone. Where'd it go? Beats him up. That's the end of issue number 2. They like their cliffhangers.
I like the last panel too. Just standing over him.
Yeah. Something I like from when we've been reading like the Fett's comics is each time the issue or story or something like ends, it's always like one of his like catchphrases. Well, I always collect.
Oh
I
yeah.
think Jingo said something in the other one. As long as I get paid, something like that.
Hmm.
It was fun.
Pretty on brand.
Yeah, for sure. Um, but yeah, what did you think of issue number 2?
I liked it. It's kind of like a not really filler, but it's just like,
Yeah,
passing by. It's not like the most interesting part of the story yet, but it's still pretty like valid.
yeah, I gotcha. I mean, it kind of fulfilled the Jango Fett cliffhanger, and then it built up this next kind of storyline, which I
Mm.
guess, like, I feel like I'd be pretty annoyed if I had to get this issue by issue, um, because I think I just having it all together for one price. So I think I got, yeah, it was only like $35 for the whole thing. Um, But I think I read them online. They were only like $1 or something.
Oh,
But yeah. Um, issue number 3, cover. Again, wonderful. They got the guy doing both.
I just noticed these like rat-looking creatures over here.
But like, oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Do you have any final comments?
Well, not really. I like the. I guess I'll say I like the vibe of the cantina.
Yeah.
It's like green lights everywhere, but it looks like cleaner than most Star Wars cantinas looky. So
Yeah.
it's like, that doesn't look as bad of a place to go drinking.
Yeah. So issue number 3 starts off right where 2 left off.
Man, look at
Um,
this panel though. Look
yes.
at this panel.
There's so many just like action shots. Like, oh, pose for the camera. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah. He's captured by Boba. But then the League of the Bounty Hunters, which is completely played off as a joke,
Those poor
is
dudes,
like,
man. Nobody takes them seriously.
no, he's ours. Like, what? Stop it. Get some help. I don't even
So
know who these guys are.
it's pretty funny though.
Yeah.
How they just get made fun of the whole time.
Let's see. Does the I know with spoilers things later, but Legion of Bounty Hunters. Okay, yeah, yeah. I didn't know if this was something that was like, yeah, no, it was completely. They pulled it out of their butt there. But
What?
they show up and they're like, he's ours because, knockoff Zuckus took care of it. Um,
Oh.
but
Oh, I just made that connection. What the hell? That Zuckus was with them.
yeah,
Like knockoff Zuckus was with them. I just got it.
was a what?
No, I just made that connection that like knockoff Zuckus was probably a part of the League of Bounty
Oh
Hunters.
yeah, I think it might have. I don't know. He might not have. I don't know. But at least that's what they're given. We had him first. It's like, no, you never had him. I have him, and that's something he says later too. But they have the standoff, and then Bosk just walks by,
Just casually, man. I don't even
and
know
like,
why he's here. He doesn't
I
even
don't know
have any interest
either.
in the bounty, bro.
I it's been a while since I read it the first time, but then I was reading it again, and I was like, I don't remember Bosk like having a big problem with it. Um, but so I made a mistake.
Mm.
Um, whenever I originally read it, like a few years ago, um, I read part 2 before I read part 1,
Oh,
and I was just like, huh, about some
what's
of the
going
stuff, and
on?
then I was like, oh, there's a whole opening. Um, but I think I read this during COVID, actually.
Oh,
And so I was just like, oh, Boba Fett is dead. What's this? Oh, it's Legends? Okay. Oh, it's like 50 cents a comic? Cool. But
I
anyway, yeah,
knew
Boss.
about the general story just because I watched like a big video about Boba Fett's life,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I I think my knowledge of this before I initially read it was just some of the pictures, which fantastic art, by the way.
Mhm,
Nobody
mhm.
knew that. But like him fighting the beast, him and his, him and Django doing stuff. But I was just mind blown by all the stuff going on. I was just like,
This happens? What?
Yeah. So Boba Fett mocks the League of Bounty Hunters. And something I like uh, was they were like, drop your weapon. And he goes, which one? And instead of just saying that and not doing anything about it, not mentioning, oh, how many weapons does Boba Fett have? We get a description of all of the weapons, or at least all of the
Oh
ones he
yeah. That kind of annoyed me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie.
did it.
Because I would be reading it and it would say like ZX miniature flame projector. I'm like, is this like an advertisement or something? Like, what's going on here? I'm
Yeah.
not gonna buy it, man. And then like the most ridiculous thing I saw was like the last one where it's just like fist.
Fist. It was cheesy, but sometimes I fall for the cheesy.
It was funny. It was funny. It made me laugh.
Yes.
It's not like, oh my gosh, but that's so corny. I can't read the comic anymore. Ah, it just ruined it for me. It's just kind of like, okay, that was a little corny. I chuckled a little bit. That's it.
It's definitely one of the cheesiest parts of maybe this whole four part. But I don't remember anything corny and Boba Fett is dead. But
That was really good.
it was like, hey, do you want like I feel like the writer was like he made Mandalorian armor and he had like beef with like the mercs or whatever, like the Mandalorian mercs. Oh,
Mm.
that's actually not called the mini rocket launcher. That's this. And then he was like, well, you know what? Here's a description of all the weapons. But
Fair enough.
fiber cord whip. HUD helmet display. I don't know. I
I
did
mean,
like
this
to
is good,
see.
I guess, for people who do cosplay and stuff and they want to know exactly what's the armor,
Right.
aka me.
Yeah.
But
Have you made armor yet?
no, but I'm talking to, well, my sister is talking to what's it called? A guy who models
Yeah.
does 3D models and stuff. So
Ooh.
maybe, maybe.
I I have my 3D printer and I'm very tempted to start experimenting. Like,
Man,
ooh,
man, join clan Dara soon. Go ahead, bro.
is that what
We'll
clan
take
you're
you
in?
in. Yeah, it's
Nice.
like me and my sister created it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because Darasum is like a Mendoa word. It means eternal.
Eternal.
And like
Yeah.
the sigil of the clan is like a, you know, the Tang, the species that were the Mandalorians before they accepted more
Yeah.
into it. Yeah, it's like
Mhm.
a Tang skull instead of
Nice.
like a mythosaur or something like that.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
cool.
take you in. Just let me know.
All right. I do have. I mean, I wouldn't count it as our armor. It's a Pre Vizsla costume,
Oh, that's cool.
but yeah, I
I
got
like
it.
his helmet.
So the helmet that came with the costume doesn't fit me.
Oh,
It's kind of like cheap Halloween costume. Like
mm,
the costume looks pretty good. It doesn't
mm,
look like it looks like it's like a flexible
flimsy.
material.
Hmm.
But I mean it doesn't look too bad. I have my Django helmet,
Oh, I
which
seen that.
yeah, which needs some upgrades too. But that with that armor doesn't look too bad. Um, but yeah. So yeah, back to the story. Boba, beats up the guys. He's like unarmed, and then it's like fist. Um, but then Connor gets away, but then he doesn't get away.
He took it
I
so
read the way.
personally, man. He's like
What's that?
unarmed, list it because he was like unarmed, and then he lists every single gadget he has in his helmet, in his armor. He's like
Yes.
unarmed, huh? He just took it personally. He was petty about it.
Oh yeah. And then he ends up having him knocked out. Um, oh, sorry. I don't know. Um, yeah, and then he's like, "You have my father's face." And then they just start bickering, um, which I feel like did he have pictures of his father, or like I feel like he was at a
Maybe.
young age, but like I feel like would he remember his father's face that well unless he had images of it?
Yeah, maybe like I mean his mom might have like I don't know,
Yeah,
showed him.
I guess. Um, he says it sounds like he's going to be like, oh, we're not brothers, oh, Jango Fett, he was the one that murdered my father. Um, and then he talked about the inheritance, and then
Yeah,
uh,
that kind of confused me a bit because Django seemed very heartless when he killed Connor's dad, but it does show that he had a little bit of remorse, he cared a
yeah,
little bit at least.
and he didn't give him. I think it's in this issue. He gave him just a little bit,
Mm.
um, but he ended up. Well, I mean, yeah, he did give him enough to live. I
Yeah.
mean, enough for him to be raised and then even have a little bit left. Um, but then, he goes and insults, Jango Fett. And then I like how much, Boba is just like upset about it because it's like, no, this is my father. And I don't know if you've read like the Boba Fett books when he was a kid, but it kind of makes me think of that. Um,
No, I haven't read those.
okay. I haven't read all of them. First one, it was kind of a retelling of Attack of the Clones, but from Bola's
Mm.
perspective, which I liked. Um, and it just kind of goes into like the emotions that he went through.
Mm.
And so just to see that kind of come out of Boba here as an adult. And then Connor's like, "Well, you're just product. You're just this. You're not his son."
Yeah, that was ruthless, bro.
Ooh,
That was
ooh,
ruthless. That was not cool at all.
yeah. And then they're, beating each other up, tumbling. There's an explosion, um, because it's look who it is. It's the League of Bounty Hunters
Cool ship.
back at
That's
it
the only thing they
again.
have going for them. Cool
Yes,
ship.
they keep showing up, but missing a few here and there. This is for the League. Goodbye. Um, so technically, like Boba would be his uncle, right? I think.
Yeah. No, not really, because like I mean, if we're being like super technical here, like Boba is not Jango's son, truly,
Well, yeah,
He's a clone.
yeah.
So I guess he's just a clone of his dad. But
So
yeah, Boba is a few years older than Connor.
yeah, so he was about 9 when Connor was maybe 3.
Yeah, around there.
Um, this is probably not as confusing as Episode 9, Rey's parentage, especially with the new updated expanded version that they added, where
What's the
the
updated expanded version?
so the emperor that was in Episode 9 was he was not Palpatine, but he was just a crazy clone.
Hmm.
Yeah, that just thought he was Palpatine.
They're
Oh,
gonna bring him back again, bro.
well, he was a crazy clone, and then Rey's dad was a failed clone of Palpatine. That's what it was. That was the crazy change. It's not Palpatine actually didn't have a son, but he had a clone that had a daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's still weird.
Yeah. Sorry. I take every moment to bash Disney Star Wars.
No. Be my best man. You wanna go again? Let's go.
Let's
2 hours
go.
just
No.
bashing Disney.
Um. So yes, the league doing it for the league. He shoots Boba, doesn't kill him. Should have killed him. He
Mhm.
leaves, and then he contacts the guy that's got the bounty out for Connor. Um, he says the League of Bounty Hunters looks forward to doing business with you.
This guy's super creepy, man. Look at his face.
Oh yeah,
He's very mentally unstable. What species is that? I've never seen it. He looks like a
it's like
Devaronian without the horns.
what's his name from Green Lantern?
Oh yeah, it does look like that.
Sinestro.
Yeah, just missing the hair.
Yes. All right. Let me see. What species is he? He is a sick. If it'll load, there's so many ads on Wikipedia.
I have ad blocker on, man.
Oh, that's probably something I should do.
Yeah, man.
It's Sakai Ian. Sakai Ian? Um, they were in the cantina originally.
That's where like 90% of the other species came from.
Yeah, that or Jabba's palace. Like,
Yeah, hey, that background character kind of looked cool. Let's make a whole planet and lore for them real quick.
which is amazing, and that's
Mm-hmm.
like I was reading some of Tales of the Cantina.
Oh, that's the thing.
Yes, they're Tales books. They're short stories, and they're compiled into. I think there's 5 of them. There's Tales of the Bounty Hunter, Tales of Mos Eisley Cantina, Tales of Jabba's Palace, Tales of the New Republic, and Tales of the Empire. Um, but yeah, I was reading some, and it was just like this random dude in the background, these random ladies in the background. Here's their backstory. This is what they did right before they came here. Um, the Rancor owner, or the guy that cried in Return of the Jedi, he has a backstory. There's a reason why.
The Beastmaster.
Yes, his name was Melakili, and he was planning an escape with the Rancor because it was it was his hope, his dream. He raised it since it was a baby. It honestly, I watch Return of the Jedi and I get like very upset. I'm like, oh no, and
Oh, not the Rancor.
I watch it with people, and they're just like, why is this dude crying? And I was like, you don't understand. There's deep lore. But that is the wonderful things of Star Wars. Um, but yeah, So this guy, um, the league has Connor, and he's like, "Did you even check if Boba's dead? Like, he's coming for me."
He's just
And then
taunting them the whole time.
yeah, he's. I love the type of like the mouth this guy has. Like he's just mouthing off to everyone. And then of course, Boba Fett's alive again. He, back from the dead again.
Hmm.
Um, and he said, if you haven't killed him, then you probably made him very angry. Number 3. I feel like it
That
wasn't
that
as.
face, man.
Oh
That
yeah,
face. Just pure hatred.
yeah. That's a face someone should clone, or maybe it's even a clone.
Oh, how didn't they think of that before?
I don't know. So, what did you think of issue number 3?
It's cool. Now revisiting it, like Blood Ties is really just a setup for Boba Fett is dead. Like that's
Yeah.
the best part of it. Yeah, honestly.
Honestly, like, I read Boba Fett is dead first, and I was just
Mhm.
like, oh, there's this guy Connor, and then they were talking about like his past with like from this, and I'm like, what is this? And then I go, oh, I gotta read the first one. But yeah, I for some reason I don't remember Boba Fett is dead as much. Probably because I was like kind of confused. I was trying to figure it out so much, and
Uh,
yeah.
makes sense. Makes sense.
But anyway, um, the cover right here again, fantastic.
Yeah,
Um,
you can really tell this guy's a cover artist because every single one is just banger after banger. Like,
exactly.
just great.
Um, I really love. I want to say this again. I really love the monologuing from Boba. What he's thinking, we can read it, or not
Oh
monologuing, but like
yeah,
the thoughts of him. All that he's thinking about. How do you make a dead man
a dead
proud?
man proud.
Um, issue opens up. Connor can fend for himself, takes care of things. Or no, um, yeah, he ends up getting shot. Shootout. Boba Fett's back again. He helps take care of him. Connor's trying to fend
Wait,
for himself.
where are you? Where are you at?
Oh, right after. So, the furry guy.
When he
Um,
dies?
he gets shot, and then
Okay,
Connor
okay.
goes to. Now I don't know exactly if it's Connor that shoots him or Boba. I think it's
Kind of
Boba,
looks like it because it doesn't show Boba like somewhere just aiming at him.
but Boba does show up in the next, like immediately after.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, he does swoop in and get Connor. Yeah, so I think it was Boba that
Yeah,
shot it.
and I like the dialogue and everything. It's like, what's stopping you from shooting me? It's like, dude, we're literally in the sky. You'll die.
I like how he goes like, okay, fair enough. He just goes like, ah,
Ah.
like, ah, I see. Makes sense.
He even calls him out for being the scary man of few words.
I like their dynamic, you know, like they're great together. They're literally like siblings together.
Yes. Connor explained some of his backstory about how he was given winnings and then he ended up gambling whatever inheritance he had. And then that's how he got tied up with this dude that wants him dead. Um, and so he's walking him in. We see a rancor. Of course, this is, I feel like they were like, all right, we got to have all the essential Star Wars pieces in here. Boba Fett, of course. This is Boba Fett's story. We've got to have Rancor, which and in the first issue they had a different monster, which I'm glad of. But do all thugs have Rancors in their basement?
Pretty much, pretty much.
Um,
It's just
but
like it comes with the starter pack, you know.
oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, they walk into to the to turn him in, and then they've got the money. How much you paying? How much would you pay? Because Boba's interested in basically buying him back from him. You know,
Square his bet.
yeah, uh, because he owes him stuff on his father, and then different things there. He's like 500,000 credits. Then Boba's like, I'll pay it, and then he's like, what? They're all just like, what the heck? Um, and then he's freaking out, all this, all that. And then Connor, he's like, I got 3 credits. Could you like kill him? And then Boba's like, I accept. Because Boba doesn't do anything unless he's being paid for it.
Can you blame him though?
Yeah. The wild thing will be coming in a few minutes. But of course, this is where the first issue started off. I mean, let's see. I got to compare it now. It might be the same exact panel.
No, it is. It is the same
It is?
exact panel. It is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the same. Okay. Same thing. Um, he says, I am not afraid. I have known true fear. It is standing in front of me. Oh, its name is Boba Fett. Ooh.
I was a little confused here because it's
Yeah.
like I don't know if that's like Connor thinking or if it's him thinking. You see how it's a little confusing? Where it's
So,
like it's standing right in front of me. His name is Boba Fett.
what I think they were trying to do was make you think Boba was talking in the first one, like in the
Hmm.
first issue, and then they pulled a switch, which I feel like wasn't as good.
Uh,
And turns out it wasn't Boba talking in the beginning, but it was Connor. But then he said, it says in here, in front of me is something far more monstrous, a powerful madman. And then Boba Fett says, no, you're a dangerous madman. So they might be
yeah.
thinking the same thing. Or at least in the earlier issue, it was supposed to be Boba and what he was thinking. Um, but then
Mm,
in this, it's supposed to be Connor.
maybe it's like both of them are thinking the same thing.
Probably.
because also it goes like with the, oh, how do you make a dead man proud? Like they're both thinking it, without speaking to each other about it. So maybe it shows like they're connected in some way. I don't know.
Maybe. I like how he's like, I have no interest in having you as an enemy.
Oh yeah, and just bam,
Yeah.
smart.
So shootout action. Wait, did we miss anything? There was something I wanted to mention before. Oh, yes. I think we yeah, I missed it here. Uh the Legion of the Bounty Hunters guy shows up.
Oh,
He
yeah.
goes, "The Legion of Bounty Hunters, we're here." And it's like, well, how many of you are there? Oh, it's just me. It's like you still call yourself, or no, the League of.
Hey man, he identifies himself as they them. That's why
Oh
he
my
said we
god,
are here.
my gosh. But yeah, that was my. I saw that and I was like, dude, shut up, go home.
Nobody likes you, bro.
You should have walked away
Also,
when.
no, like whenever they're trying to take Connor inside and they're like, okay, walk, he's like, I don't have to make this easy for you. I'm not gonna do it. And they're like, we'll kill you. He's like, no, you're not. I'm just really gonna make this hell.
Oh man. But yeah, we get
Hmm.
shootout. This is a kill that I thought was pretty brutal. The poor league member gets Boba's jetpack strapped to him. Then he shoots it in the mouth of the Rancor, which then
No,
kills
what did
the Rancor.
they tell him? They tell him, wait, what is this? Our way out of here. Not yours though.
Man,
It's like, damn, bro, he's already gonna die. You don't gotta be like that. It's our way out of here. Not yours though. You're gonna die. Bubba can be a little mean sometimes.
what is the panel patience Boba in there?
It's whenever he was aiming, whenever Django was
Oh,
teaching him.
he's talking to himself. Okay, I was like,
No, no,
I,
he's like recalling to whenever he was like gonna shoot Connor's dad way back,
yes. Oh
and
my god,
Django was like, patience, Boba, patience, like
I
patience with the
gotcha.
shot, so he can
Man,
get
I
it
didn't
right.
pick up on that first time. Dang. Yeah, they take him out. And he's like, "Give me the 3 credits."
Yeah.
It's like the credits, and he's like, "What?" It's like the credit, and then he says, "Boba Fett always collects." And then
Fair
he ends
enough.
up getting Connor gets the money, and then
What's
go
up?
go down a few panels. I think.
Let me know when to stop.
Stop whenever Connor is getting the money. That one right after he gets. He says,
Oh
"You may."
yeah,
He's like, "What are you doing? Getting a tooth. I
right.
collect them for someone."
Oh yeah.
He couldn't understand what it's like trying
I think
to.
they're like thinking about each other right here. They're like, oh, he doesn't understand what I'm all about, like this and this and that. But in reality, like they're literally doing the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, the last panel with like Django or like the clone face watching over them, I feel like it's supposed to represent like Django and Connor's father.
Yeah. Which they all have the ties to Django, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and it's interesting.
It
Uh,
is.
how would you rate? I think they call it a Tale of Jango and Boba. Star Wars Blood Ties. How would you rate?
Man, I think it's like a 9.5. I
Okay.
really like it, but like what's it called? Like the corny stuff that we were talking about, it kind of
Yeah.
like takes me out of it a little bit, and sometimes the writing is just a little confusing, but it's not like super like horrible, you know?
Right.
So that's why it loses like the zero point 0.5 for me, but like it makes up in so many other ways.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
How about you?
I was thinking a 9, but like I feel like yeah, I might go 9.5 because of those moments too. Um,
Yeah.
I did think that they were kind of comical. They did. I kind of like looked past them a little bit, and I kind of thought them as like the author telling us, but not like Boba thinking it. And I think Boba thinking it kind of made it a bit odd, because I think that's what it was supposed to be. Um, but I do have to say, as a very this is my mouse pad, a very big Boba Fett fan, I'm not disappointed. Uh, I would say that this is definitely an essential um, book to read if you want to read Star Wars. If you like
True.
Boba Fett, definitely read this, especially if you really liked Open Seasons. I
Hmm.
feel like it carries on Django's legacy pretty well. Um, you can feel that emotion with like how Boba feels. The fact that he shows it, um, especially to a stranger, is maybe a little odd. But also,
Um,
this is also like he almost has resemblance to it, and it's like this is something kind of a big deal. I'm not sure. Maybe if he had his helmet on, it would be more, you know, more Boba Fett. But what do you think?
I don't really mind him being vulnerable because it's like maybe like he feels like this is probably the only person who could ever understand what I go through, you know?
Yeah,
Like, so I don't really mind it,
yeah,
but I don't know, man. I think it's like it makes sense. It's not too out of character for Boba, you know?
I gotcha. Um, but yeah, other than that, I probably say it's a 9. The artwork definitely holds it up a lot.
Oh yeah. No, that
Because if
that
if
really is one of the best parts of it.
if it wasn't for the artwork, I probably might rank it a little lower. Maybe I don't know. I'll have to marinate
I
on
kind of
that.
agree because I mean, the story is nice, but
Yes, but I feel like the dialogue doesn't. I don't know. Sometimes it's like fantastic. Like we went issue by issue. I would say that like maybe issue 3 is where it kind of like
it peaks.
is it 3? Oh, that's 3. Yeah, three's really good. I don't know. It feels like there's like a few moments where it's just like fantastic, and then there's a few
Mhm.
moments where it's just like okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
I mean, the dialogue is like mostly okay throughout it,
yeah,
but like the monologue that Boba goes on, it's like I think that's the strong part of it.
yeah. I think like the fact that he's thinking all of these things definitely help us, to kind of better
Yeah.
get that. But yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. Do you have any final comments before we take a break? And then
Um, no, just looking forward to Boba Fett is dead because
all
that's
right.
the best part.
All right. So, what we're going to do is we are going to end this stream and then we will start a new stream. So, I'll see everyone for part 2.